다 다리 취식 간도기 무비 짓던 거요래. 아니 내 티켓 한다 니니버 됐다. 수도 니와 니니 체가니 나와버다. 다들 미드리 연구도. 다들 때문에 다야래. 취식 간도기 때문에 다른 감도 대 지금 나라 준비요래. 아 그래. 딴 감도 다이렉터 돼. 나저 시시간을 다이렉터 아니 셴벨라 탄다디 무비 스크린 방법이 미 가질래도 돼.
땅에 반다 잠깐 된다면 저 숨경 아버지 쉽게 제사래.
암 빼망불래란데.
쇼 방보러 와. 이바디 kenapa kita show menduda show ibadah
달리기도 야 망불래도
빼야고 야고
야야
Tempo musuh sana di situ kapan di dekat dan musuh Facebook Live juga waktu itu ini masih cikan share from 2006 to 2011. He is the author of Flight of the Cuckoo's Behest, which the film is based on, and the son of the late KeeperSamdup from a leader of ChoedhenLing. Please give a warm welcome to ChoedhenLing.
At the moment, we are capturing those soldiers to work in machine. Homa de Nepal, the the flight of the Cuckoo's Behest. And the government made the logins for the university, and the logins were the 이 무슨 리카비아가 가서래 대통령사한테 로기스 보이라 하나는 한자가게 어디 문제야 로기스에 담은데야 되었지 아니 그사 에이전시에 하나는 소야야가 자기 배정시에 갖고 스크립트 보레스 아니 스크립트 나네 스크립트 이게 조셉 마티우스의 프로그램을 가서 인류자라는 것이야 아메리카 New York-based movie script which is in the shot. And Bombay Summer Crossing Arizona script is and it's downstream the chairs are production house, movie houses, and fully as a chair. So, changing the banana to shoot in that church, and then switching to Anamuna. In a data, we have the lights entertainments, and Anilamani, people, the DreamWorks music, so Passage, Mumbai, the project in language, and today the parliament which we should say the Zoman Cherry, 인도에서는 신기한 방법으로 예상합니다. 소수의 가수를 대가로 소수의 시험나 소수의 리터리아적 가수를 폴리티나 센슈마차체 모든 자연함의 방안으로 슈마니 대나 불러도착 근데 이미 것 배제 방법이다. 근데 우리가 우리가 슈마를 이 인도에서는 아주 모든 리터리아 대선함의 센슈마를 즉 말하는 그 시간에 소수의 가수를 이 인도상의 중요한 인물이 모두 지도를 말해 안도를 말해 일상의 말하는 그 시각을 이내 예파라고 우리 인상의 프라치는 인상의 인내가 주시는 모습을 엔 보람을 가지게 같은 인사의 얘기를 지단한 브레이크 가수의 브레이크 눈꼴 가면하면서 무지가 religion 최고가 괜찮으시겠어요. 당신은 최고가 나옵니다. 이내 진짜 많은 브레이크 우리가 진짜 같지 않은 우리들이 망치의 힘을 이 저는 우리의 방법 되게 와서는 준비시보잖아요. 되게 많은 식사하는 것을 준비되는 것이 더 하고 있습니다. 이 저는 우리의 주변에 많은 상명의 준비 그런 망망치터를 해주나거나 또 소셜미디어를 아니 실제로 망치기고 망치기고 이 저는 망망치 장세 아니 가수 넷플릭스 중에 아마존 판소리야 가수의 굉장히 쉬운 우리도 막 가벼워야 답시하는 시간입니다. 이 말씀을 가수의 나도 자산을 가지고 이 인상은 나우스만 가라는 부분입니다. So for the sake of some who understand that very well. Thank you so much for being here. Even though I wrote and directed the movie and I did the action and music and everything, and then you just heard from my co-producer, the writer of the book, Dojimote Dewatsang, we have a very big team. It takes an army to make a film. Longi diswada, mangmi do dogiyo ni mamu. So naratsu chuko mare. Ne longi diswani, manzo ine longi di sama kira sama ni longi da. Longi sama ni da. Uzaki longi de, ambo longi de, kaba longi de. 나라서 배, 정말 배ሾ였다. 저만큼이 배ሾ였다. 이 나라는 제가 맞지 않다. 아니, 저기 그게 대신에 좀 하나 제가 지금 나라서 꾸rum사나키 눈을 보고 나라서 갓대와리 야미미에 만나 야나 슈가 갓대 하겠지 먼저 메시지 탑방 집사 성방으로 나라서 내세 야겠다. 전당이야. 미국이다. 따라주다. 시가 닉스 사나야겠다. 그러와 아니 말하는데 저랑 민디까지 아니 미 막고지 나와시게 되면 맞자 되고 미달티네 윈스트리트 하고 클럽 더 바를 또 가져가는 캐나다 하고 만 가다가 생수 차하다 캐나다 생수 가자. Alright, I'm happy to see a lot of young faces, a lot of young kids here, a lot of young boys and girls. This is your film, okay? This is the story of
Martin Scorsese's que tem um cuidado na mão, então que também vai para a área do lado, a chance da runa. Thank you. And up next, playing the role of the amazing Kimbo in this film and a first-time actor, Pandey Dikhanla, please join us. 저기 kimbo기 차분하게 아니 킹 방구에서 그러나 차분하게 Pandey Dikhanla 차다로나. And up next, I'd like to invite Tukde Chukatsanla, playing the role of KeeperSamdup, one of the commanders of the time. 차주다로나 그런 KeeperSamdup 도질라기 빨라기 role 참남이 그런 차주다로나. And last but not least, the person who made all of this happen with his vision, the writer, director, producer, and award-winning composer, our very own Canadian-Tibetan Shimping Kimsarla.
Canadian-Tibetan Shimping Kimsarla. 번당에 하결과 야마 페르나 슈드베 그러니 그들을 같이 되세요. Untuk sepanjang ini chapter pada director the co-producer lah terima kasih tinggi som juga cerita.
We're just going to go ahead and start with the Q&A now. So I want to start by just thanking everyone here. We also have some really talented actors who couldn't be with us today. Some of them are in India, some of them are in America. And I just wanted to please ask everyone to join me in thanking them for their beautiful performances. Charge the now and Gangchong Urdu jikse baina marang game ni da pazila mujungye ma nidong chuchu la dela pero the lutu supa Canada gi Mr. Tibet botina wala and didu kra judge ni phale ani kra se gi gasna mara bakra kimbo gi role thamna le ani ngai na da kimbo gi role mixe di pe chwa shu jikle sura the chushi kandu la majo ming shima je khanda teso thama mangni chuwara and khurang gi ta khala wala role di ni lamsa khanda chushi kandu gi ta ming khurang duk shimi la shan le sura ani khurang la chuwa di ta ko thadde ba thi thambu le sha ine dusta ta thi thambu jo de thoma sura ani khurang la de thola ta thi thambu do chaw this song. And I'm just going to do it in English really quick. So my question is to Mandela. He's a first-time actor. He played the role of Kimpo, and for me it was really moving. One of the names of Chushi Kandu is Tensu Panglamani, which is volunteer defenders of the faith. And when he just rose and took arms, I think that really beautifully sort of brought together, this title of Chushi Kandu. So my question to him, as a first-time actor, just wanted to know what his experience was like.
Just Nimin Hadi Divai, the Chibodi Chileni Miss Kershaw's Ngadi Suara Kalala Nga Nipala Pala Dani Chilagyo Chonsura Matongila Natsham Muitan Chuledi Pala Item I'm so proud of you, Ra. My poor showcase this, Ra. So, when you tell me, my 10 tamburi, 10 tamburi, in the last king, the Tondi, Nipalagi, Puri, Maidagi, I feel like to digital Samdu, Ra. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
먼저 저번에 동계가 나니 대통령과 저번에 가리나나 셰프 캡사 코 디렉터 디 트라이얼 카파치타이도 디 트라이얼 공개했을 때 메인 프로타고니스트 히로라고 되게 로즈 때 우리가 트라이얼 삼촌다 트라이얼 디 겐치모치 셰네 딜라 칼레지 라렌타 보세요. How do you feel with that responsibility when you were levied by the director of Champagne Kemsia?
I'm going to speak in English, just my Tibetan's a little sloppy right now. A little Tibetan, I'll switch to English as well. When he asked me to play this role, I was on vacation in Punta Cana, and he texted me, and I called him back when I was in Boston. And he didn't tell me it was a main role. He asked me, he was making a movie about Chushi Gangchong. And since my father was also Chushi Gangchong, as an ode to my father, obviously I would have loved to play this role. So given that opportunity, and then finding out later that it was the Kuma something role and being the main role, I had never acted before. So but I was up for it, and he promised me that he would lead me and guide me. So I said, well, let's do it, and that's how it started. So as far as acting, while shooting it, the responsibility that I took upon myself was that, yes, it is the lead role, but it's staying in character and also just kind of making sure to do my part so the others around me can inspire me, but at the same time I can also inspire them. So I really enjoyed actually taking the responsibility. And while I'm not an experienced actor, I think I did, I did well for myself.
You did amazing. 라파 추스나 비제나 셰프나 아주 그리고 믹스해 주셨어요. 우리 셰프가
Firstly, thank you for being here, thank you for coming, and thank you for being a part of this journey. A lot of people personally know me. Like I said earlier on, this is your film, this is your story, this is our story. So please be proud of our history, and we have to represent, we have to take control of our narrative. Marantu susu dumdi marantu shegwa de pemasa kechino roba ani ngegi ta actor manguchi delale yo mare betu yo mare kunju sum chukore panda ine kunju sum la ngei mone ta kiranj mone manju Canada. Let's give them a big Canadian applause. kunju inje ngezane kapyu mangu seza chama but in a little competition, do with the day, Sherba. So, Yaki Karalagasina, Maranzo give Pepaki, Nese Tomo Kulum Samakin, and Lega Yakuchina, Manzo gave Zamboling of the Tanda and the Jotu, Chitu, Mila Kenya Reata, Shendela Kenya Reata, Inchila Kenya Reata, Chia, Yomare, Maranzo so Chewa Daga, Manzo Linge, Lumba Manzo Lumba Shogun. Tarjake the Jedaki, Bill Langoya, Manzo Lingeta. Rava. So that the Manzo Pone, Dojila, the Manzo Pone, the Beset Chunchi, in a Dumbi Chunchi Mare, the Dumbi Hamsaya Chamber, the Lu Tango, the Lu Iba Super Circuit, Ravaso Lekape Mambo, and the Tujiche. Thank you very much. There was somebody here earlier who had a question. Danielle? Yes. Can you pass the mic? This mic is right here. Okay, yes. So Daniel is a journalist. He wanted to ask a question.
Can you hear me? First of all, thank you for the great movie, and it was so inspiring. Salman Sima, political prisoner of the Islamic regime in Iran. 50 years ago, when I escaped my country.
Please tell me your name.
Salman Sima.
Are you Persian?
Yes, I'm Persian.
I say Quran.
Thank you for that. It was so inspiring. The moment that I see the mountain, it was so, it touched me. It was so touching for me. It was so inspiring. Thank you for fighting for the freedom. I have one question from you. I started an interview. I know that you smuggled the footage out of the Nepal, and it was so hard to do it under the dictatorship of CCP, making this kind of movie. Unfortunately, we know that CCP has a huge influence on Canadian soil, and in the last parliament, 11 MPs was received support from CCP. We know that in the news we have a Chinese police station here. So, are we not afraid in Canada, and how we should fight against CCP here? Thank you.
So I'm going to try and answer the question short. Firstly, I am thankful that you came. I have a very personal connection with Persian culture. I'm a very big follower of Jalaluddin Rumi and Hafez and Khayyam and Persepolis. Yes, you have an amazing history. So, most of the stories are already on my interviews. But your most important question, I thought, was, were you not afraid, or even in Canadian do I look like somebody who's afraid? Absolutely not. And I'll tell you why I'm not afraid. If you take my country, you invade my country, you pillage my country, you destroy my country, you ruin, you try to jeopardize the religion and the tradition and the history, you try to rewrite the history of my people. You remove my ancestors from their ancestral land. You call the great His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the great Dalai Lama, you call him a separatist. You destroy all the natural resources from Tibet. That is ours. So why the hell should we be afraid of you? You should be afraid of us because you did wrong. So this is the reason why, one, I'm not afraid. Two, there is a lot of influence in Canadian soil. You're right. There's a lot of Chinese money in Toronto, in Vancouver, and in the Canadian politics too. But don't forget, we're all Canadians too. We have power too. We just have to know how to use our power, our voice. And especially when you're on the right side of history, there is nothing to be afraid of. According to Buddhism, we call impermanence. In Buddhism, we say vitaka. Everything is impermanent. We're all gonna die. Azizan, you're gonna die too. I'm gonna die. So we might as well die standing rather than living on our knees. Right? People to me. Okay? And I will leave you with one of my quotes. This is something I wrote for my next film. The trajectory of your life and your energy is determined by the quality of your intent. You can clap. I will translate this into Tibetan for my Tibetan family. The Kerangi Nyutok, Kerangi Metsi, the Kerangi Nyutok, the Langaji, Kerangi Kulungi, Gyudaga, Gyujaga, Rally, Recipe, Kerangun Samayama, Sukhans Mataba, Chinataba. Manzo Sama Yando Chido, Papa, Lumba Manzo the Shore, Boga Manzo Manzo Lava, Yama, Yami Show Montu, Manzo Montu Mata. So Montu Yungi Manzo Lata. What is it? Oh yeah, could you change? Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. Can you change? Everybody, there's a lineup outside, so I don't want to take a lot of time. We have t-shirts and merchandise. You can take it. Please make sure you know now that you guys are the future. You are the leaders you've been waiting for. And for the first time in Tibetan history, we have Tibetan movie stars. You have Tibetan heroes. Okay? And I'm working on my next film, and there's going to be a lot of work. But Keranzo, Nanzo Tsama Semchuk Chaya Leda, Semchuk Macha, Keranzo. Nonji Nanzo Marda. Okay? So Semchuk Macha, Tsama Dosa Chikti Chirocha, Tsama Kunap Chirocha, Tunyecha, Pegamo.